Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. The Nigeria Labour Congress says it will resume talks with the Nigerian government on a new minimum wage for workers in 2017. President of the Labour Union, Ayuba Waba, gave the union's position on the new minimum wage in a statement released on Monday. Waba further advised the federal and state governments to set their priorities right and attend to issues affecting the welfare of their workers. The Labour Union and its trade union affiliate have proposed a new minimum wage of 56,000 naira to the federal government before the nation's economy enters the recession. Now, business activities at Arik Airlines have been grounded in Lagos State following a protest by aviation unions in its office. Arik Air is currently the biggest airline in Nigeria. The unions under the aegis of the United Labour Congress of Nigeria issued a statement urging its members to participate in the joint strike action. The action has left hundreds of the airline's passengers stranded across the country. Tunji Olanikpekun was at the protest for TV360.
This is Arik Air Corporate Headquarters at the local wing of the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. Instead of the usual hustling and bustling the biggest airline in Nigeria is known for, especially in the Christmas period like this, the office was turned to a carnival-like ground by labor unions. The bone of contention here is Arik Air's failure to pay 7 months' salary owed its workers. The company, according to labor leaders, was also guilty of different labor laws.
It will surprise you that in Arik, they don't have conditions of service. And of course, you know what conditions of service means. It spells out the conditions under which you are governed, under which you are working in an organization. Arik does not have conditions of service. And it will interest you to know that Arik is owing nothing less than about 7 months arrears of salaries. Equally, there is general complaint of staff being stagnated, no promotion. Staff welfare is totally relegated.
You can imagine you as a worker being owed 7 months of salaries. You have to buy things for your children and you have to be in the mood of the Christmas yourself. And when salaries are not being paid, what are you going to spend? For 7 months, they've been owing the workers of Arik. And we thought this is the best time for us, since the management refused to listen to what the workers are saying and what the unions are saying. We thought this is the best time for us to hit them back.
But how long will this picketing last, considering the fact that many Nigerians have booked the airline for their journeys during the Christmas and New Year period?
It will stop when they come out for the meeting and told us that they've reached agreement. That's when we'll stop the meeting. Without that, the picketing continues.
Efforts to get the reaction of Arik Air was stalled by officials of the airline, who said the management and unions were meeting to resolve the deadlock. But how quick the airline will be able to resolve the matter is very important, as many Nigerians have already been affected by the disruption of flight schedule. Tunji Olanikpekun, TV360, Lagos.
Resident doctors in Nigeria have given the federal government up to January 2nd to implement the National Health Act and other demands of face withdrawal of service. Addressing journalists in Enugu, southeast Nigeria, President of the body, John Onyebueze, said the government should also implement the July 14th agreement reached by stakeholders at a meeting called by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara. He said that the association would not be intimidated by the government's no work, no pay order, saying that the policy seemed to be targeted at the body. The body also called on the government to pay outstanding salaries to resident doctors in the country in the 72 institutions nationwide. The Nigerian government says it is guided by international best practice and standards in rehabilitating millions of internally displaced persons that have been spawned by the Boko Haram insurgency in northeast Nigeria. President Muhammad Buhari made the affirmation at a meeting with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi. He also told the UN envoy that Nigeria was making efforts to domesticate the Kampala Convention, which legally binds government to protect the rights and well-being of its people forced to flee their homes by conflict. In his response, Grandi, who had visited Cameroon, Niger and Chad as part of his tour of the Lake Chad Basin region, commended what he called Niger's determination to resolve the humanitarian crisis at hand. The United Nations has pledged to collaborate with other agencies in the country to help rebuild the country's northeast region. Speaking during a meeting with the General Officer commanding 7th Division of the Nigerian Army in Maiduguri, Brigadier General Victor Ezugu, the County General of the United Nations Development Programme, says it is working on beefing up its presence in the insurgency-ravaged area. He commended the Nigerian military for the work it has done in the area. Nigeria's Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Udoma, presented the details of the 2017 budget proposal. The minister, while presenting the budget, tagged the Budget of Recovery and Growth in Abuja, the nation's capital, says the 2017 budget has an outlay of 7.298 trillion naira. According to him, this represents an increase of 20.4% over the budget provision of 6.06 trillion naira recorded earlier. On financing the deficit, Senator Udoma said the overall projected budget fiscal deficit of 2.36 trillion naira for 2017, which is about 2.18% of GDP. The largest recurrent allocations as contained in the budget are for the ministries of Labor, Education, Defense and Health. The National Budget Office says it is projecting using 250 billion naira out of the fund recovered from corrupt officials to finance the 2017 budget. Ben Akabweze, who is the Director General of the office, disclosed this while fielding questions from reporters at the presidential villa in Abuja. Akabweze said 72 billion naira of the money had already been recovered from corrupt officials. Also to be included in the budget financing is $320 million, which is 97.6 billion naira recovered from the Sani Abacha expected from Swiss government, while the balance of 90 billion naira will be from other expected recovery loot across the country. President Muhammad Buhari has expressed optimism that the current economic recession will subside in 2017. He was speaking in Abuja while declaring open an induction course organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. President Buhari says he's optimistic that the external factors that partly contributed to push the Nigerian economy into recession will subside in 2017. He also says he is working hard to turn around the economy by effectively reforming the macroeconomic environment through measures, some of which he says were outlined in his budget speech to the National Assembly presented last week. The Nigerian Senate says it is awaiting the advice of President Muhammad Buhari on the confirmation of Ibrahim Magu as the substantive EFCC chairman. The upper chamber had last week refused to grant confirmation to the nomination of Magu as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission after delaying his confirmation for about 6 months. According to the Senate, a security report available to it showed that Magu is not fit to be the chairman of the body. But speaking to State House correspondent, Senate leader Ali Ndome says that the Senate did not reject Magu but only delayed his confirmation owing to the security report it received. The Nigerian Communications Commission has said the proposed hike in data tariff by telecom firms is meant to protect the interest of subscribers and prevent monopoly. The agency says it had not given up on the proposed data tariff increment, saying the NNC was working to protect the interest of Nigerians in order to prevent telecom giants from ripping them off at the end. Just last month, the Nigerian Senate ordered the Commission to immediately stop its planned data tariff hike, which was expected to begin from December 1st, 2016.
Corruption not in my country. That was a very good business.
Yeah.
The furniture you brought was very perfect.
That's how we roll.
Because then let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much of it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
Mbano. The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss. Rubbish.
Man, it is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die in
No,
Lagos.
you will die. That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make una only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Leading Chinese automaker GAC Motor has launched its best-selling GS4 SUV brand into the Nigerian market, unveiling the compact SUV before a select audience at a colorful ceremony held in Lagos State. The general manager of GAC Motor says the motor is built to the highest global standards with the application of a sustainable, eco-friendly technology in vehicle production. The GS4 has been a massive hit in the Chinese market with sales of 427,000 as at November this year. The company would be hoping the sleek SUV hits the same level in the Nigerian market. Now, TV360's Deji Badamosi had a one-on-one chat with the general manager of the automaker here in Lagos. He began by asking him why GAC chose Nigeria to launch its GS4 SUV in Africa and how the Chinese automaker plans to handle the stiff competition in the compact SUV market here.
Nigeria and China have shared many years of friendly and successful diplomatic relations. Also, Nigeria's economy, among other countries, has a great impact on the continent. With a population of about 200 million people, we haven't sold up to 100,000 vehicles, but it is also a sign that there is a very big potential of increasing sales and performance in the industry. Again, in Nigeria, we hope to set up a group of partners, even in Africa at large, to strengthen the brand trademark, promote the brand profile, to let Nigeria's customer have good knowledge of GAC as an automobile brand. Also, we will select partners that will help set up marketing and servicing outlets and channels to help promote the brand and after-sales service. Thirdly, we will actively train personnel to run effectively the service centers. We believe that if we adopt these measures diligently, our product will accurately take its place in the Nigerian automobile market and make it successful. Are you not bothered that you are launching your SUV at a time when there's economic recession in Nigeria? You don't think this is the wrong time to actually do this? In 2014, we entered the automobile market in Nigeria, and we know that every country has its time of economic fluctuation. But Nigeria and Africa at large has the potential of performing well in the industry. We are ready to make the necessary contribution to the industry to achieve this excellent result so that the Nigerian customer will enjoy every bit of our outstanding product and have good value for their money. Now, if I was to buy the GS4, what exactly would I be buying?
I think
the GS4 was made meticulously to give the Nigerian market the expected and a very high value. The power and performance of our product proves its value. Our mission includes putting the interest of our customers first in all aspects to achieve high standard results. Our product in all aspects, including designs, meet international standard and is very outstanding. This special product, technology, trainings in all aspects give our Nigeria customers the trust and confidence they need. After the launch in Nigeria, what's your plan for expanding, for instance, to other African countries? Because I'm very sure you're not stopping at Nigeria.
We
We will first meet the demands of the Nigerian market, promote our brand profile in the market, and make Nigeria the center of our African business engagements. When this is achieved, we will look for the best possible means to expand to other countries like Ethiopia, Algeria, Egypt, etc. We understand GAC Motor is planning to release around 20 cars within the next 5 years. Now that's that's quite ambitious, some people would say. How do you intend to do that and then deal with the competition in the industry? Most importantly, from the onset of GAC Motors, our product was made employing the best of human and material resources. We have a group of experts that research ceaselessly on projects before it commences. Over 1 billion renminbi was spent to set up the group, making all research materials available for them to achieve international standard. In a competition of over 2,000 groups, our own group came 10th. The GS4 is a product of these professionals, and its sales rate as of last month is over 37,000 vehicles monthly. These professionals leave no stone unturned in making designs that satisfy our customers. Presently, we're still working on GA8 and GS8 models. The GS8 model last month has 20,000 orders placed for it.
The Nigerian Central Bank has asked banks in the country to submit bids for a special currency auction to clear the backlog of matured outstanding dollar obligations for selected sectors of the Nigerian economy. Backlog dollar demand from fuel importers as well as airlines, raw materials and machinery for manufacturing firms and agricultural chemicals were favored for the special forex intervention. Traders say the central bank plans to sell funded forwards of 2 to 5 months tenor dollars to the targeted sectors at an auction ahead of the closure of the forex market for the year. The CBN is expected to close all foreign exchange transactions this Friday ahead of its financial year end and the Christmas period. Oil prices were steady on Tuesday in timid trading ahead of the year-end holidays, with investors beginning to unwind positions without expecting to take up new ones until the start of 2017. Brent crude oil futures were trading at $54.88 per barrel, while U.S. crude was down 17 cents at $51.95 per barrel. Traders say they were starting to square their books ahead of the upcoming Christmas weekend and the week running up to the new year. As a result, and barring major price-moving news, they said markets would likely remain tepid this week. German police are investigating a probable terrorist attack after a man drove a lorry into a Christmas market in the heart of Berlin, killing 12 people and injuring 48 others. The driver, a Pakistani asylum seeker who entered Germany last year, is being questioned for the crime. German media say police have searched a refugee shelter at a defunct Berlin airport, where the suspect was believed to be staying. Interim Minister of the country said the man was probably from Pakistan and that his application for asylum had not been processed. The suspect, however, denies involvement in the incident. Police fired tear gas to disperse hundreds of youths gathered in the streets of Kinshasa. The protesters are demanding that Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila step down after his mandate expired overnight. Some limited protests started after opposition leader Etienne Tshisekedi called on the Congolese people to peacefully resist Kabila, who has remained in power despite the expiry of his mandate and with no election to pick a successor. Sporadic gunfire crackled in several districts of the capital in Kinshasa, which is a city of 12 million, as a measure to thwart ascent fan fears of more violence in the country. Kabila faces potentially one of his biggest challenges since he took office. Critics accuse him of clinging to power by letting his term run out with no election to name his successor expected until 2018. A Nigerian sportswear manufacturer, Tunji Brand, has launched his second retail outlet in Surulere, Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria. Owu Sportswear, as his brand is called, is a one-stop shop where football lovers can walk in and buy jerseys of various clubs in the domestic league. From what started out as an admiration and desire to be involved in Nigerian sports, Tunji Brand has set out to leave his mark in the sports world.
Football league teams.
The Lagos-based entrepreneur runs a Nigerian sportswear manufacturing firm called Owu Sportswear. He designs and manufactures jerseys for various clubs in the Nigerian Premier League. Today, he opens his second sportswear outlet in Nigeria's commercial city of Lagos State.
The event is about opening of a flagship store for teams in the Nigerian Premier League, in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and in the Nigerian National League. So it's a store whereby you can buy merchandise and can buy replica jerseys of Nigerian club sites.
In 2010, Owu Sportswear produced sportswear for its first professional football team, the Oyo State-based Shooting Stars of Nigeria. It has come a long way since then, producing and recently unveiling the sports kits to be used by domestic clubs in the 2017 and 2018 league campaign.
Before we came in, teams in the Nigerian league were the jerseys they were wearing as far as concerned was not up to standard. So we felt that there was a need for us to come in and do the needful and provide quality jerseys for them, which we have been able to do. As we are right now, we have 6 teams in the Premier League. We've got 15 in the Nigerian National League. So that's where we are right now. So we've also got a presence in the 36 states through various jobs that we do for NNPC Shell Cup.
The launch of the merchandise store was attended by various club representatives as well as a chairman of the league management company, Shehu Diko.
A warm round of applause once again.
To have a domestic kit manufacturer kitting the clubs and now opening the first official shop that will make the kits available to each and every person who is interested in having them. It means it's a very, very good step, and so we are starting the merchandising market for Nigeria. Nigeria with 20 million people, the merchandising market can be huge if you get it right. So I think it's a very brilliant occasion, and we endorse it, and we are part of it. And he's living to our confidence that we have in him. That was why we allow him to kit the entire team going to La Liga for the La Liga tour. It's part of the promoting the domestic kit manufacturers.
This occasion is really the unveiling of the Owu merchandise store and the unveiling of those clubs that will be participating in the Premier League and the Continental Championship, which happens to be playing in both. We're playing in the Premier League in Nigeria and at the same time playing the Continental in the CAF Confederation Championship. Hence the need for us to be around and participate in the unveiling of our jerseys, which is really a great day for us and I believe for Owu too, and generally for sports development in Nigeria.
With a staff of over 30, Tunji Brand's Owu Sportswear provides kits for 20 local teams in the country. But despite the success and awareness created by the sports brand, he says the company still faces some challenges.
Day-to-day activities of starting a business. So, like fabric, everybody knows that there's a ban on importation of fabrics. So we had to go through the challenges of having quality fabrics and so on. And every other thing.
It's indeed a great challenge competing with other multinational sports brands in the country. But Tunji hopes his Owu Sportswear one day becomes a brand of choice, not just in Nigeria, but also across the world. The Court of Arbitration for Sports has reduced Real Madrid's transfer ban to one transfer window. The European champions and its rivals Atletico Madrid were banned from signing new players until January 2018 for breaches relating to the international transfer and registration of players under the age of 18. Now, Real Madrid filed an appeal against the ban and has now seen the sentence reduced by the Court of Arbitration for Sports. The new ruling means that Real can now sign players in the summer of 2017. Atletico, meanwhile, have decided to reject a waiver to sign new players in January, choosing instead to wait for a decision on its appeal by CAS. The ruling for Atletico is expected on June 1st, 2017. The Football Association intends to appeal the 35,000 FIFA fine for displaying puppies during their World Cup qualifying fixture against Scotland on Armistice Day. Scotland have also been fined for their use of the puppy symbol at the November 11 fixture at Wembley, with FIFA handing out a $15,700 fine to the Scottish FA. The poppy symbol signifies Remembrance Day in England to commemorate military personnel who have died in war, but FIFA says it can be classified as a political statement, which is against its laws and bans players from wearing political, commercial and religious symbols during matches. Well, that's all we have at this time. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.